Hello students, welcome to the session on operating system. In our today's session, we are going to discuss about the virtual memory. What it is? Virtual memory. Virtual memory. See, this virtual memory is a technique where it will be giving an illusion to the programmer that it is the system is having a huge amount of memory space. It will be an illusion, I can say. Why? Because in generally we will be not having that much of memory. This memory can be called as an imaginary memory, I can say. It will not be there in a physical manner, but it will be assumed by the programmer that we will be having a lot of memory space. That is what they are discussing here. The virtual memory is a technique that allows the execution of the processes that may not be completely in the memory. Okay, see, whenever a programmer is executing the program, the complete program will not be there in your RAM. Okay, complete program will not be there in your memory. Sometimes so many programs will be holding those particular modules which will be utilized whenever it is required. Until or unless it is required, it won't execute those particular parts. Those will not be there in your memory, but the programmer will assume that complete program will be there in my memory, so that I will be executing the program. See the second point. One major advantage of this scheme is that the programmer can be the larger than the physical memory. He will be assuming that he is having lot of memory, enough memory in order to execute that, but in generally the physical memory will be having the smallest size, I can say. In other manner, this virtual memory is a concept of giving the programmers an illusion that they are having the larger memory at their disposal, even there not be enough memory, enough physical storage. Okay, so consider if it is a memory, then we will be thinking that my complete program has been kept in your memory, but it is not true. Okay, we will be not having that much of capacity for your physical storage, but we will be assuming, we will be making illusion to the programmer that he is having enough sufficient knowledge for the program execution, but it is not true. Okay, the virtual memory will create a imaginary memory, I can say, virtual memory, I can say, which will not there for physical, but he will be thinking that we will be having that particular memory in our physical storage. Okay, and see, in the next, programmers can write the programs that takes more memory than the available physical memory. That is, if say suppose if you are having 4 GB RAM, then you can think that you can write more than that. Generally, whenever I am writing a program, I will be not thinking about the RAM. Okay, whether my RAM is 1 GB, 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB, whatever the GB it is. But I will be writing the program. After writing the program, it may become more than your RAM. But in a RAM, we will be executing few more instructions, few more programs that has to be supported by your system. But in order to execute my program, what I will do is I will be creating a virtual memory. You people will be thinking that the complete program has been kept onto the memory, but it is not true. That is what the virtual memory is. The virtual address space is a set of logical addresses used by the process. Physical address space is a set of effective addresses that are there in physical memory. Okay, and this imaginary or logical memory will be converted into physical memory by the MMU. The logical memory, whatever we are creating, or as imaginary memory, whatever we are creating, that will be converted into physical memory by using what? Memory management unit. Okay, in this way we will be using for consideration. Say suppose if it is an organization of this particular virtual memory, then see, heap will be growing in a downwards. Okay, your heap will be grown in a downwards and stack will be growing in a upwards. And in middle of this particular thing, we will be having the holes. We will be having the free memory locations that will be considered as a virtual memory, I can say. The empty space hole between the stack and heap is virtual address space, I can say. Such type of space is also known as sparse address space. This will be called as sparse address or as virtual address, I can say. Okay, by using this particular virtual memory, several processes can share the systems, I can say. Okay, share the system libraries, built-in libraries, and inter-process communication will happen in this particular case. Okay, and process creation can be done in a faster manner when we are using this virtual memory, I can say. And we will be having two techniques like memory techniques, virtual memory techniques like paging and segmentation. Already I told you people that CPU doesn't know about the segmentation, CPU doesn't know about the paging, but they will be breaking the complete program into paging or segmentation, and that will be stored in your main memory that we have discussed in the earlier versions. They will become the techniques for your virtual memory, I can say. Okay, that is your virtual memory. And see, this can be achieved by storing their big programs in secondary memory and disk storage, and then partition of these programs can be brought into the main memory. That is what just I have discussed. Say suppose when you are running a program, see, we will be having built-in functions in our C language like math.h. This math.h is required whenever I am performing the mathematical operation. Until or unless I request for these particular operations, no need to store these particular header files and related functions into your main memory. So whenever it is required, we will be taking that into main memory. Until or unless it is required, we will be not taking that into your main memory, so that it will be saving lot of storage, lot of memory, I can say, in your main memory. Okay, so that it will be executing. Whenever I am taking this math.h in my main memory, if some other processes are executing, then for them also I can survive. In an easy manner, we can share the data, I can say. That is what the major flexibility we will be having when we are using this particular virtual memories. Okay, I hope it is clear to you people what is virtual memory, and the techniques are these two, paging and segmentation, that we have discussed in our earlier sessions. Okay, that's it for now. See you in the next one. Thank you.